G'day everyone and welcome to another wonderful episode of the Warhammer Meta Chasers as we creep towards 100 episodes, something that we haven't noticed up until this moment. This is technically episode 97 of the Warhammer Meta Chasers, although we have been under various guises and names in the previous past, which shall left unknown. Hallowed Antiquity, as I call it. It was only like 2 years ago.
That was not that long ago. I actually had no idea until you just brought it up right now. I was paying attention to that.
I kind of buck wild. We're probably into the 200s technically across the various iterations. Great show, but thanks everybody for joining us. We've got 3 fantastic events. Naturally, you can see Dying Sanguinius to your left because Paul is off at a concert doing some gallivanting. But I am joined by the wonderful, the mogul himself, Dustin Henshaw. Hello, mate.
Hello, everybody, and hello, Adam. Good to see you again, my friend.
You too, dude. We got 3 fantastic events from 3 absolutely completely different regions of the world. We have the Palm Springs Open, of course, from California, USA. We have China Warhammer City Tournament from
Nice.
the Guangdong province of China, which is going to be really awesome to have a look into their meta. And then we also have a beautiful, awesome event from Helsinki in Europe. So we got Europe, Asia, and North America represented on our great show. Yeah, whenever we can do it, I always like to do it to just get a snapshot. And unfortunately, things are very similar everywhere.
Oh,
it really is a
now I'm sad.
Really is a global event. So the show's over, guys. See you later. Hope you enjoyed it.
Now you know.
Yep.
But everybody's doing the same thing.
It's just Death Guard. That's fine. But let's us jump into that first one. We have the Palm Springs Open from Palm Springs, California, USA. 157 players over 6 rounds. What are we going to see there, my man?
For the Imperial Superfaction, there are 2 Sisters of Battle, 7 Custodes, 5 Astral Militarum, 2 Grey Knights, and 7 Imperial Knights. That's a big Custodes number. Wow.
Yeah, not too bad.
Okay. Space Marines, there's 4 Astartes, 6 Dark Angels, 7 Space Wolves, 3 Blood Angels, 5 Black Templar. Ooh, people are getting excited. 1 Death Watch. Chaos, there's 10 Chaos Space Marines, 9 T-Suns, 14 Death Guard, 10 World Eaters, 4 Emperor's Children, 1 Demon, and 8 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there's 7 Necrons, 4 Orcs, 3 Tau, and 5 Votan. Hive Mind, there's 7 Tyranids and 7 Genestealer called. Wow, they're tying them again. Representation. That's awesome. Aldari, there's 4 Drakari and 9 Aldari, meaning the faction podium is once again Death Guard, topping it off with 14, but then CSM and World Eaters right behind them in 10, and then Aldari and T-Suns with 9. The Power Armor Chaos Space Marines really coming out in force here.
Yeah, dude. 4 of the 5 factions represented on our podium are Chaos Space Marines. In fact, I think if I've done my math correctly, 56 out of the 157 players at this event are playing Chaos. So dang near a third is in the Chaos Super faction, which is more than most of the others put together. It is kind of wild. Like, for the first time in a long time, G-Dub wasn't lying when they said it was the year of Chaos.
Yeah, like, I don't know if this is what they meant for it, but...
I mean, how many Orktobers have gone by without like an Orc whisper, without barely a whimper, barely a wah to be heard?
There's just a whimpered wah.
But this time, yeah, they look like they nailed it. Chaos absolutely out in force. To that end, I have done detachment breakdowns for Chaos Space Marines. I've also done for Aldari as well. But are there any notable factions? There's so many factions that are sitting at the 7 mark. Like you pointed out, Custodes, Imperial Knights, which is kind of down on numbers for them. Necrons,
percentage-wise, yeah.
Yeah, Necrons, Tyranids, and GSC. We actually have like 5 factions sitting in essentially 4th position. Fourth place on our faction podium. Sorry, Chaos Knights would be 4th; they'd be 5th. And yeah, it's wild. Also, I'd like to say we did call it. We absolutely called it. Like absolutely no net from the 3-point line said that Aldari is going to go away for about a month and then it's going to be back, and like nothing happened when Onyore got nerfed, as everyone totally figured out that there's like 4 very good detachments still in your book.
Yeah, they still work very well, especially in the meta that we're in right now, which is very like Death Guard and Knight heavy, which apparently CSM World Leaders coming back into it too. T-Sense is interesting to see, but that's also why you're going to see the Tyranid and GC call numbers kind of even out a little bit, because they are both very good into Knights and Death Guard now with their builds. The Subterranean Assault build for Tyranids has very strong play in the Knights and Death Guard.
In saying that, we have one of those to break down for this event also. So first up, though, we have the Chaos Space Marines detachment breakdown of the, what do we have? 10 players in attendance. This is probably the best detachment breakdown spread we've seen this edition. where we have literally
Wow.
6 detachments represented out of 10 players. We have 3 Pack-Bound Zealots, 2 Creations of Bile, and 2 Renegade Raiders, and then singles for the Cabal of Chaos, which is the brand new detachment that came out with the latest MFM and slate, the Soulforged Warpack, which is Vashdor and the buddies, and then 1 of Veterans of the Long War, which is essentially a Gladiator style list. What do you make of that breakdown? Because I got to say, it's impressive and awesome.
I love it. I can't pick out a single attachment for Chaos Space Marines at this point that I like better than the other ones. I'm personally more of a fan, I think, of Creations of Bile than anything else. If I had to pick one,
yeah, you would.
I do. But other than that, like, I love seeing the spread. I don't think we've ever actually seen a detachment breakdown where every single attachment has been taken. Now there's missing one out of here. Like
no, they have like 11 to 12 detachments now.
Oh, right.
So yeah, but still, it's pretty. They've got as many. They've got as many as the Starties do, technically.
Well, at least 6 are represented here. So most of the detachments for most other factions. That's something to be said.
Pretty much all the ones worth playing are being played, which is fantastic.
I haven't actually seen the Cabal of Chaos being used, so I'm curious.
Yeah, Chaos Cult will be the only one that I think is pretty good in this meta that isn't being taken, and that's because I assume people just have, self-respect and just aren't keeping up with their planks, because that's what you got to run. And yeah, pretty damn good spread for the Chaos Space Marines. Really happy to see so many detachments in viability at a 150 plus player event. Next up, we have the Aldari detachment breakdown. This one has 9 players in attendance, and the overwhelming majority are taking Warhost. So 5 out of 9 going Warhost, 2 going Aspect Host, a single Spirit Conclave, and a single Seer Council.
So they're going.
Any surprises? Any surprises there?
No, not at all. Because Warhost being the most popular because they're the best. Well, I think they're the best in the Death Guard Knights. The way they can build. Aspect Host is a very close second with it. Spirit Conclave, I want to see that do well. I
really do too. I don't think it does.
I don't think it does, but I want it to do well so badly.
Me too. It's everyone's feel good detachment for Aldari. That and Harlequins, obviously.
So in this edition, at least,
I have an instinct about Aldari detachments because I think Warhost and Aspect Host are pretty much dead even. And then the terrain format of your event makes one a little bit better than the other. Now, I have to assume this one's going to Palm Springs. Please, if anybody's in chat who's playing at Palm Springs, let me confirm if I'm correct. But I assume they're playing GW terrain, which 100% I think leans itself much more to Warhost than Aspect Host. When you're playing WTC, I think Aspect Host is vastly superior. So many more staging areas, but not the logistical lanes to wield multiple wave serpents effectively. They get in their way a lot. There's only so many places you can put that big old wide fin based, wave serpent. So Aspect Host seems to be the one of choice for WTC. And I think Warhost is for everybody else, as for every other terrain format. And also, I think Warhost has a less propensity to get blown out. If that makes sense to you. I see Warhost as the more, especially on like at WTC, for example, I see Warhost as the more defensive build, like possibly used as a late round put up to go and take a mid board and play quite defensively and just brick. It's the smothering brick where you can throw out a bunch of MSU stuff, flip objectives while also being very safe with your power units that can be cycling in and out of 2 wave serpents. Whereas Aspect Host, I think, is a bit more aggressive and wants to try and build a differential where it can.
That makes sense. I'll be honest, they feel very similar to me. So when I see either one of them on the table, I kind of doesn't change my game plan as much. It probably should, but I think you're right. The terrain does really affect which one of those has the bit of an advantage. It's just not going to like break them, but it will change which one has the advantage for sure.
It's literally, can I effectively use a second wave serpent or not?
Yeah.
Like, can I effectively use it? And Warhost does get to use 2 wave serpents and cycle 2 units in and out of their wave serpents every turn, whereas Aspect Host only has the ability to do 1. And so take a bit more.
I've seen a lot of Aspect Hosts not even take a wave serpent now.
Yeah, they're just going full MSU, go wide, sometimes with the bricks of Hawks, along with their usually 10 Fire Dragons and Flagon.
For sure. So I agree with what you're saying that Warhost is definitely more defensive build because of the double wave serpent build that most of them be taking. Yeah, makes sense.
All right. One list to break down from the top ranked player in the region. This is Kenneth Onyore. who is ranked 5th in the ITC in the US West region. He's playing Tyranids, and it is a subterranean assault. So, Dusty, take it away.
Of course, hyper-adaptive Ravagers with Vanguard Intellect. We got a Swarm Lord, Trigon with the Trigon Prime upgrade, of course. 10 Gargoyles, a Biovore, a Lictor, 2 Norn Emissaries, 5 regular Ravagers, and 3 Tyrannifexes.
Triple Fex.
Wow. Okay.
Full Night Hate is what I'm saying here.
He didn't go for the high grades. Like, nope, Tyrannifex is where it's at.
Well, I'm worried. I am worried about Kenneth's prospect because he didn't pick the meta as well as he may have, like in so many others. Because there's only 15 knights here, whereas if he had a tool for anti Chaos Space Marine, he'd be absolutely laughing. Which is absolutely something you can do in Subterranean Assault. Essentially, you've got about 800-ish points of flexibility within the list. Once you've taken your Trigons, your Swarm Lords, your Tunnelers, and your utility units, you kind of got like 1,000 to 800 points left to kind of just tool it for the meta that you think. And I'm interested to know if post event Kenneth would be like, dang it, why didn't I bring triple Exo instead of the Tyrannifexes or something to that effect?
Maybe, but I feel like the Tyrannifex, because he's got the double Norn Emissaries, he's bringing 3 Tyrannifexes now, and he's hoping to fight against Knights. But the thing is, if he doesn't, then whatever he fights is going to have trouble killing 2 Norns and 3 Tyrannifexes anyway, and they take up an entire objective sitting on it. So
it's a lot to choose still, is I guess what his fallback is. His fallback is, well, if I'm not playing against Knights, I'm just thick. I'm just so thick and like fast. Well, not fast by actual movement, fast by, whack-a-mole, as I call it.
And the Trigon Prime is actually got a ridiculously good profile into things like Terminators or
it does.
Any kind of Marine. So
I suppose the Raveners are there as well to do similar effect. Do you, if you take the hyper adaptive, do you have to join into Raveners, or can you play as two tunneling units?
No. They'll usually use them as 2 different ones.
Yeah.
Join them if you need like another kill squad, because then they can do that, and then they can also go uppy, downy, and rapid and heroic for free.
Yeah,
all one squad doing that. But otherwise, the Raveners the regular ones just keep going up and down, making new tunnels every turn, including turn 1. So if you want to move a Norn somewhere or a Tyrannifex somewhere, you can just do that if you go second.
Of course, the Trigon Prime gives it a much better melee profile and synapse. What does Vanguard Intellect give?
I believe that's the Deep Strike turn 1.
Nice. So you can turn 1, get a tunnel going.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Yeah, it actually makes a big difference when you want to get something in there, because then you can have, even if you go first, you can get a tunnel down just to get things started. But going second with Subterranean means you can get 2 tunnels down. Well, he only has one Ravage. You can get 2 tunnels down, which means he can port something somewhere where he needs it, even if it's on the ground, and he can pick something up on their turn. So something else that doesn't have deep strike can still come in, basically deep striking, and he can have like 2 Tyrannifexes or 2 Norns on an objective.
Just dunking on in early on. I like it a lot. I think it's quite strong. And good luck to Kenneth, but it is time to pick some winners. I'm making the executive opinion that because Paul hasn't been here for this is the 3rd week without Paul, but just because of travel and his job with GW and stuff like that. So I'm going to give him all of the starties for this one, because he hasn't had the chance. I want to see him get a point this month.
Wow,
Paul. But what would you like, Dusty? Would you like to back Kenneth?
I'm backing Kenneth. Yeah, absolutely.
Good man. I'm just going to be lame and go Death Guard.
You're so lame.
I am so lame, but I want to win this month.
I will say, Subterranean Assault's actually good at Death Guard too.
It is. I'm hoping he plays against like a T-Sons player and gets knocked out or something.
Don't put that evil on him.
All right. Next up, we have the China Warhammer City Tournament from Shenzhen, Guangdong Province, China. 83 players. 5 rounds. It's almost like Australia's like close to Asia and interacts with Asia a lot or something. It's like I grew up saying.
Right.
It's almost like that.
Oh,
like
okay.
Well,
that's less impressive now that you have like
Spanish
to a sense.
What are we going to see here, mate? 83 players, 5 rounds. This is a hefty event for China. And
that's
the
biggest China event I've seen. Actually,
it is. Yeah, it is the biggest. And it's freaking awesome, man.
All right, let's see what the meta is looking like over there. Right now, we have Imperial Superfaction. There are 2 Sisters of Battle, 4 Custodes, 4 Astra Militarum, 8 Imperial Knights. Very light on Imperial faction, to be honest. Like in terms of the number of factions represented. There's
exactly right. There's a bunch missing, which we'll go over soon.
Yeah. Space Marines is 4 Astartes, 1 Dark Angel, 1 Space Wolf, 3 Blood Angels, and 1 Death Watch, which I'm going to also attribute to that being pretty low representation overall.
Yep.
Okay. Chaos is 1 Chaos Space Marine, 3 T-Sons, 10 Death Guards. So they're doing the same thing. They still got
They're not immune. They're not immune to this pox.
1 World Eater, 2 Emperors, Children, 4 Demons, and 9 Chaos Knights. They're not immune to the Knights either.
Yep.
Xenos, there's 1 Necron, 2 Orcs, 2 Votan. Hive Mind, there's 4 Tyranids and 1 Gene Stealer Cult. And then Aldari, there's 2 Drakari and 5 Aldari. I mean, Death Guard topping it off again. Even though it's all the way in China, still Death Guard topping the podium with 10. And then Chaos Knights right behind them with 9. And then Imperial Knights behind them with 8. So the podium is basically identical to what we would see elsewhere. However, let's talk about some of the things that are very, very much missing.
Yes, there are a bunch of factions that are not here. Starting from the bottom, moving up, no Tau, zero Tau taken in this meta. There are no Templars, which is not surprising to see. One of the Space Marine sub factions not taken, but we have no Admech, no Grey Knights.
The Grey Knights doesn't really surprise me. No agents. Ooh, oh my goodness.
Ooh, yeah.
I was kind of hoping they'd have like some agents in there. They'd have like 20 agent players.
Yeah, that would be pretty funny.
That would be awesome. I would be very excited about that.
So yeah, no Grey Knights, no Admech, no agents.
No agents.
Yeah, that's right.
No Tau, as you mentioned. I feel like there's another Imperial faction missing that I haven't mentioned yet. Why can't I think of it? Or am I not?
So it's agents, sisters, custodies, Admech, Astromil, Grey Knights, and Imperial Knights. So yeah, no, we're correct. It is the 3 missing.
Just a 3.
Yeah, we nailed it.
Still, like, I was expecting some Grey Knights. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I
don't know why.
Just
because of the jank that they have,
Yeah, I always expect there to be one Grey Knight diehard in like every region.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Tau players. I expect there to always be like a couple of Tau players everywhere as well.
I did think they had like at least a little bit of popularity in every region, but maybe not. Very low Chaos Space Marine numbers. In fact, low Chaos Space Marine. Space Marines in general.
Lowest Astartes numbers. Very low power armor. Like
very low power armor.
Astartes numbers, chaos or otherwise.
Aside from Death Guard, which I don't count for power armor because that's not.
Death Guard has absorbed all into one. Like there are more demons.
There are more
demons than everything except for vanilla Astartes when you go against all the power armor factions. Whereas the Xenos are very low as well. Only 1 Necron, 2 Orc, 2 Votan, no Tau, like we said, and then decent numbers for Aldari, and still managing 2 Drakari players as well. With so many, a good handful of factions not taken, would not have been surprised to see no Drakari, but here we got 2.
Hive Mind actually equaling numbers of the Xenos. It's kind of crazy.
That is, that is pretty wild. That is pretty wild, actually.
That's 2 factions versus 4. So
yes, and reckon them.
Reckon them.
We have one of the top players in attendance who is representing their nation at the WTC for Team China in 2025. This is Ran Shen Li playing Thousand Suns Grand Coven. And this is just a good list. Like, straight up awesome list. It goes off with Magnus and then, of course, a Demon Prince with wings, which I call a wince, which is what Dustin does when I say that. You got Exalted Sorcerer on disc with Incandatum. Then 2 Infernal Masters, one with the Vortex, one with the Unprolific Crystal, and a Sorcerer and a Shaman. So very Hero Hammer heavy here. Then we have 3x5 Rubiks, a Rhino, 2 Vortex Beasts, and 3 units of 6 Enlightened with their great bows. Very little fat on the bone because I suppose some compromises have been made to get extra casters into this list to make sure you always have the double and or triple redundancy to get off all your amazing abilities like your Pseudo Oath of Moment, your Doom Bolt, etc., and your extra moves. So I think this is a great list. It's probably got one more character than I would have taken, but I get it. I get it a lot. And I think this is a very powerful list that just goes like everything is just a power unit essentially.
That is a lot of Enlightened with great bows.
It's all of them. It's all of them. It's all you can take. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm a fan of this list. I think it's brutal. It's obvious, in my opinion, it's obviously tooled for teams. This is a better teams list than a singles list. So
is this the same list he's using at WTC?
I believe that's the case. Yeah, I believe that's the case. Yeah,
I mean, at this point, you probably should.
It's after list sub. You wouldn't play anything else. You wouldn't play anything else. But yeah, this looks to me like a teams list that's just built to get a differential. It's just built to be a punishing list because there's no like little units, there's no cultists, there's no spawn, there's no 10 units, 10 Zangors or small units of Enlightened to go and do your actions and things like that. It's just going to kill you. Yep. And it's going to do a good job of it.
It will do a good job of it.
Yeah, it's a very nice list by Ranchin. I think there's 2 other WTC players in this event also. So, you know, pretty good level of strength here. Are we going to be generous and give Paul Astartes again?
Yeah. Wait, what's his score right now? Okay. Yeah.
Look, he hasn't been here, so he's just been defaulting to Blood Angels and getting donuts. So we're going to throw him a bone.
Hey, is that his fault or is that the Blood Angels' fault?
He's a good egg. No, he's a good egg. Let him get some points. If he gets points this week, he goes back to Blood Angels next week.
Okay. Well, he should be here next week.
It's true. It's true. He actually will have a say.
Kind of has to.
Who am I going to back here?
I don't know.
Because I don't think any of the WTC players in attendance are the Death Guard players. So that means that likely the strongest players aren't on the podium picks. So I'm going to go to the Chaos Knights instead. I'm going to go Chaos Knights. What would you like, brother?
I'm going to take the Thousand Suns.
Yeah, it's hard to pass up when you just know hands down there is like one of the top players in the nation playing a very, very powerful list.
Yeah.
All right, one more event. Brave New World from Helsinki. So Brave New Hive World.
Hive World. Make sure you.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Sorry, all our wonderful viewers from Helsinki, which is in Finland, of course. This is 75 players over 5 rounds, and once again, there's a bunch of factions missing, and this might be the most whimpered Imperial super faction that we've seen in a very long time. But take it away, mate.
All right. So in the Imperial super faction, there are 4 Sisters of Battle, 1 Admech, 1 Astra Militarum, and 1 Imperial Knight. What?
Yep. No Custodes first up, which might be a first for this edition. Like no Custodes, it might be a first. There's no Grey Knights again, and of course no agents, but still only a single Imperial Knight is Buckwild. I love this meta already.
More Sisters of Battle than all the other Imperial factions combined here.
Well, I've been waiting for people to come back to Sisters to realize that holy crap, they're actually really strong and very good in this meta.
Yeah, they are,
because they pack a lot more fit for purpose weapons into thick targets with miracle dice to back up all your misc melter shots that you can just have sprinkled over every unit, and then they are doing what Astartes do for cheaper. And so I'm a huge fan of Sisters in this meta. I think they have a great swathe of awesome abilities and rules.
Yeah, they're perfect this meta, like you said. So while it's not surprising that they are finally getting more attention because they should be, it is surprising they're getting more attention than all the other Imperial factions right now.
Correct.
Especially Imperial Knights.
Yeah, agreed.
Ooh, okay. All right. Anyway, continuing on with the stats here. The Space Marines, 3 Astartes, 3 Dark Angels, 1 Space Wolf, 5 Blood Angels, 1 Black Templar, and 1 Death Watch. Chaos, 2 Chaos Space Marines, 2 T-Suns, 11 Death Guard, of course, 2 World Eaters, 5 Demons, only 4 Chaos Knights. So even the Knights here representation pretty low.
Very light.
Xenos, there's 4 Necrons, 3 Orcs, 6 Tau.
Huge.
So all the Tau that play in China normally are actually in Finland.
They're actually in Finland, yeah.
And then 3 Votan. Hive Mind, there's 5 Tyranids and 2 Genies to their cult. And then Aldari, there is 1 Lone Drukhari player and 3 Aldari. Meaning the faction podium is Death Guard topping it off with 11. And then the Stinky Cliff down to Tau in second with 6. And then Tyranids and Demons at 5. Aside from Death Guard, what is going on in Finland?
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love you too. I love you also, Finland. I think you guys are all amazing. You're all awesome people. So it's just so weird that there are like missing very popular. So you just know people have Custodes armies. And when there's no Custodes in the event, it's because people chose not to play with the Custodes army because everyone's got one. I've got one. I've never played with it, but I've got one. But every Space Marine is represented here. Like there's a Death Watch. There's a Black Templars, for God's sake, but there isn't a single Custode, which is very surprising. There's an Admech, but there's not a Custode. Like it's kind of wild. I love it. Like so, every Chaos Space Marine, every Chaos faction is represented. Every Xenos faction, every Hive Mind faction, and every Aldari faction. It's only the Imperial factions that have not been taken, that have been snubbed by the Helsinki community. I'm here for it. I think it's fun.
That's crazy.
What the hell is with the 6 Tau?
Really? Like, actually, with this many knights that are not here, Tau, what are they here to fight? What are they ready to fight? Power
Chaos
armor?
Space Marines.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, they will.
They will. They'll do a good job of it. That's one of the things that I think they've got really good amounts of in their book. They have really good amounts of anti-MEQs or marine equivalent firepowers. Like you can really tool a Tau list to just maul its way through Astartes, chassis. But you know, then they can't. If they take those profiles, you aren't taking profiles that kill knights, so you can't have both. And that's one of the issues with Tau. You don't really have units that are good into everything. It's like I've got a broadside with a heavy rail rifle. It has to shoot into a 4+ invuln death shroud. This is bad. This is real bad. Did I rip a 6 for the dev wounds? No, well, suck eggs. Your unit did nothing. It's a very expensive unit. And God, we know the death shroud are not pointed accurately. So very cheap unit. But then you're like, ha, nice Canis you don't have anymore. You know, and you feel really good about it. So they can't really have it all is the issue with the Tau at the moment. You can tool for a meta, but not the whole meta. So you can tool for certain factions, but not everything. Whereas I think Tau are going to be very good at this event. I look at the other factions on the podium. I think they're going to do pretty good.
Yep.
If they're built for purpose, they shred the two factions directly below them, the Tyranids and the Demons. They absolutely punish because they have quality screens for the subterranean assault. A little bit of small arms fire from things like breaches and even just drones and stuff to help to clear all the gargoyles and all the jails and things like that. And they also just have quality transports that help them get through a lot of the missions. So I'm a big fan of Tau into this meta. I think Tau can do very well. To that end, I've done the Tau detachment breakdown. There's only six players in attendance, so it wasn't extensive, but I did want to have a look-see. We have, of the 6 players, we have half of them taking Montcar, which I think makes all the sense in the world, a single Carrion, a single experimental prototype cadre, which is the Grotmus detachment, and a single retaliation cadre, which is essentially the one that's built pretty much exclusively around crisis suits. I think Montcar's where Montcar's where it's at the moment.
Not a single Kroot one.
No Kroot. Yeah, for some reason
that was a short-lived little.
They put their points up.
They peaked, and then they died.
Yeah, did they even peak? Did they even?
I mean, well, they peaked as much as they've ever peaked. Yeah.
Well, I was hearing about the Kroot menace for less than 3 weeks before the MFM came out.
3 weeks is actually exactly how long it was.
Yeah, they got 3 weeks of being like, "Oh, this might work," and everyone being like, "Oh, maybe this might work," and then bang, and then slap that ball out of your hands. So yeah, bit rough there for the old Kroot.
Just enough time to buy the Kroot and start building them.
Oh,
it's the worst.
Conspiracies. But I like Montcar. I think Montcar's where it's at for me personally, because of the flexibility and the speed where you get to play the early game. Because one of the issues, and I guess it's not as big an issue here, but the reason I like Montcar is I feel like it's the one that's better into Knights because it plays the early part of the game where the Knights will win. You know, they will. If the Knight player is like playing Lords of Dread or an Infernal Lands or big boy Imperial Knights, they're going to get on top of you and kill all your anti-tank before you power up in Carrion. They're just going to rush you down while you're not optimized, and they're going to try and gut as many of your anti-tank pieces as possible. Mm-hmm. And if they got Lords of Dread, they're going to have the whole table stickied by the time that happens as well. By the time like Carrion turns on, they're stickied for 4 objectives and they're on top of you inside your army. Montcar, I feel like, is a bit more proactive, gets out on the table, can keep the fight in the mid board more effectively, and still packs, very, very high quality firepower. That's good when you need it to be good. Because, I mean, I'll say this to you. Do you think you can win a game of Warhammer if there's like 4 big knights left on turn 3? Do you think you're going to win that game if they still have 4 knights left on turn 3?
Bottom or top of 3?
At the end of turn 3.
Like after you've turned, that's
at the end of battle round 3, if they still have 4 big knights, are you winning? And legitimately, I'd probably say 80% of games, 90% of games, freaking no, you are gone. Yeah. It's already over. So I think you need to get on your bike. And so I back the Montcar as the detachment of choice. All right, we have one list to break down here. This is the Team Finland WTC captain, Juni Haavisto.
You try.
You have a crack. Juni
Haavisto.
We'll go with that one. He's playing Aldari. He's playing Aldari, and of course, he's playing this list to the WTC, and it's a fantastic list. He's got a war host, so this is what I was talking about. This is what I'd see as a more defensive Aldari build for the team's format. He's got an Autark with Timeless Strategist, which I'm going to look up in a minute because I can't remember what that does. Then a triple pack of Phoenix Lords, being Lycus, Fuegan, and Jane Zar. Then we have 10 Storm Guardians, 2 Wave Serpents.
There they are.
A double package, yeah. Then big unit of 10 Dark Reapers along with 2 units of 5, and then 10 Fire Dragons, of course, to go with Fuegan. 2x5 Banshees, 1 to get each Janezar and the Autark, 5 Rangers, 2 single War Walkers to proc off some extra AP, which does really help the Dark Reapers in the current meta, which is what I assume that's what they're for, because God knows you don't need it with the Fire Dragons. And then 2x5 Warp Spiders. So this is a pretty good MSU package around your 2 big bricks, being the Dark Reapers and the Fire Dragons, that are comboed with quality characters jumping in and out of Wave Serpents. And that's pretty much how it plays. It's going to try and control the board whilst putting the Wave Serpents into good, usually they'll be sitting in an L, behind an L, and then you'll be jumping out, shooting something, jumping back in, going through that wall when you disembark every time as well. And yeah, it's a very powerful thing to be doing when you can keep recycling through the Wave Serpents. And then your opponent has to have the movement. They have to have either the fast gun good movement to go and look behind that L, blow up the firepower to kill the Wave Serpent. Usually in 1 activation, they have to kill the Wave Serpent, which is actually very hard with their -1 to wound invuln, will be in cover, and etc. And then have a charge solution to go and kill the unit that gets out, essentially. So it's actually really hard nut to crack. It's one of those problems you lay upon your opponent and be like, can you deal with this? Otherwise, I'm going to score this. Yeah, it's a very, very good list.
Yeah, this is the kind of list that can do a lot of damage. It also still has the MSU aspect that the Aldari are known for. So it can score, it'll kill. Like it's pretty well tuned.
Question for you, mate. On the weekend, I played Infernal Lance Chaos Knights. I had an Atropos who was toughness 12, comes with 28 wounds. I rotated Iron Shields with the Infernal Lance has, and I popped my Infernal Lance token. So I was toughness 12 with 28 wounds, a 4-up invulnerable save, and a 6-up feel no pain. How many wounds do you think Fuegan and his 10 Fire Dragons did to me?
I feel like this is a trap to say too low of a number that it should be. So I'm going to say 20.
Oh, way too low. They
really?
one-shot me and then some. So they have sorry, I can't remember. I think he was playing Aspect Host, so this may be a little bit different metrics. But he had lethal sustained crit 5s, 4 rolls to hit wound damage on this unit. I think he did like 43 through the feel no pain. Just like, boy.
Can you not make any invulns either? Oof.
Well, he's got sustained crit 5s with 4 rolls to hit.
Whatever.
And unit of 10 plus Fuegan, so it's 12 shots, and I think he ended up with something like 18 wounds going through. And then I was like, okay, I'll save. I think I saved 1 less than average, so I think like a full 10 went through, and he just like yeet high rolled the crap out of me with +3 on all of them in melter range, and then the fire pike, and then Fuegan.
That was the next question. Were they in melter range? Because if they were,
of course they were. He was. So I made the trap. So I made the trap that if he wanted to shoot me in melter range, he couldn't get back in the Wave Serpent. So I'm like, you can get me. And if you get in melter range, you probably kill this guy, but it is iffy. I could scam you on the 4+. If you shoot me from outside melter range, I don't think you can kill this guy, because, like, let's say you get the 9 D6 through, rerollable just for D6s, and then I have a 6-up feel no pain, 28 wounds. It's actually really hard to get that. You have to put like 32 on me to get past the feel no pain, probably even 33, 34 to guarantee like 34 damage. You have to roll on your 8 or 9 D6s that go through. It's actually mathematically very hard to do. In fact, improbable even. So it has to get in melter range to do it. But if it gets in melter range, he doesn't have the movement to get back in the Wave Serpent. So I'm like, you can take a swing at this guy, and I'm going to let you. But if you want to guarantee he dies, you got to come all the way in, and I get to get you back. And that's how it worked. So I did lose my boy, but I got the Fire Dragons.
Still a decent trade in that kind of a matchup, though, if you only had the 1 squad.
Yeah, well, he had the 10 Dark Reapers though. So, and they became the next problem issue. Yeah. But anyway, fantastic list. I expect to see these lists doing pretty well at WTC. Not that I think these war hosts are going to like put up big differentials, get 15 plus wins or whatever. I expect them to be 12-8s, somewhere between getting 12 points and 8 points in the differential.
They're like the drawish with upside for sure.
Correct. I don't expect anybody to be able to really punish and get big points on these lists. And so I think the team Finland at WTC captain is onto it. And that is it. Time to pick our last set of winners. And we're not going to be kind to Paul here because the most numerous Astartes faction is Blood Angels. So he is going Blood Angels for this one.
That's still
because there's like 5 of them, isn't there?
There's 5. They are numerous by a decent number.
Yeah, so he's going with Blood Angels for this one. What would you like, mate? I picked first last.
I mean, I have to go with Death Guard, don't I?
Yeah. You're lame, but yeah.
I would like to go with the Eldar because I really like this list.
Yeah. Am I going to be the big baller and go with Tau? Do you know what I am?
I was considering Tau as well. I'm not going to lie. I said that many Taus, they know something.
That many Tau and the lack of knights.
Yeah,
I think Tau can. Well, I think Tau can get a podium at this event. And I'm going to back them to do so. And that brings to an end the coverage of this week's events. But the show is not done. After the end of all that crunchy unpacking of stats and numbers and figures, we have a very silly section of the show we call the Fuego Repo, where recently we have been going through different genres of things and ranking things. And right now we are setting up to do our ranking of the best video game of all time. And we're going through the different genres and putting in what we think are the best in each genre. And then they're going to go head to head and knock each other out. And it's going to be awesome when we get to the culmination of this and decide what is, in fact, the best game ever made. As decided by 3 absolutely random middle-aged
nerds. Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
So it's going to be a little skewed in that sense. Like, sports games do not stand a chance. Like they're not even. Yeah.
Yeah. Middle-aged nerds are paragons of intuitive thought and wisdom. That's so known.
When it comes to video games, I think we are. I think we're pretty much the best people to pick of this, aren't we?
Video games, yes. Yeah, we do own this. Survival horror games, nice. Yes. I didn't know which one we were coming up to today. I have a bunch off the top of my head.
Well, we got to get them in here. So let's get out some survival horror games, the best. We need 16 of them. Can we fill up that many? We should be able to. Let's start with Resident Evil.
Yes. We're going to start. Which one, though? Because I don't think it's the first one.
No.
It's the second
being
one.
Being the master lockpick, you are.
Sorry?
Being the master lockpicker, you are. Yeah, it's a quote from the first Resident Evil.
Yeah.
If
so
you get
the second one
it.
To me. Yeah. Second one is my pick for best Resident Evil.
2 is really good. I actually really liked 4.
4 was quite good. I actually did not play 4. Yeah, but 2 was the one I played the absolute crap out of. I tried to play 3, and I was like, it came very quick on the heels of 2 and just felt like very samey.
No, that's true. Okay. I'm down with putting 2 in there for sure.
Like, we'll go 2 or 4. If we've got space, we'll chuck in 4 as well.
Sure. We'll put in 4 for now, and then we'll see where we get. 2 and 4 for now. My
favorite survival horror game of the last like 2 decades is Alien Isolation.
I was gonna say that game is incredible,
phenomenal,
so
mate.
Good,
yeah,
so good. Left 4 Dead, absolutely, that's going in there.
100%. Get it in there.
The second was still good, but the first one's better.
Which Silent Hill makes it?
Is it 2?
I think it's also 2.
I think it's 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very funny how Resident Evil and Silent Hill both the first ones were good, the second ones did very well. Almost like Terminator and Alien.
Yeah. So Doom is it could be a shooter or
I would have Doom in FPS.
I think that's an FPS though. That's like I think that's one of the ones that defined FPSs, to be honest. So it really belongs there.
Yeah. I would chuck in Amnesia Dark Descent for one of the scariest freaking games ever made.
Oh, yeah.
It's absolutely terrifying. I still have not played much of it because I crap my pants and cease.
There's one that's not on here yet that we definitely need to put on. It's The Last of Us.
Oh, yeah. 200%.
Like Last of Us has to be on here. Like that is a contender for winning this genre for sure.
Correct. So it is. Dead Space is another one.
Dead Space,
I'm a big fan of. Also, Dead by Daylight, another one I quite liked.
Dead by
which
Daylight,
is one of the more recent ones.
Yeah, see, we're hip, we're with it.
We're with it. Yeah, look at us go. Oh, geez.
Dead Space 1, right? Not Dead Space 2, or is it Dead Space 2?
I put one. I put one. Yeah, one in there.
Fatal Frame?
Don't know it. But if you back it, mate, chuck it on.
Well, if you don't know, it's going to be hard. Oh, what about Dino Crisis?
100% Dino Crisis. Yes, dude.
Dino Crisis for sure. The Evil Within. Did you ever play that one?
Yes, I did.
Yep. That's another
Chuck it in.
Oh, what was that? Crap. I can't remember that one. That's where the teenagers go to the cottage again, and then there's like
stupid teenagers always going to cottages.
I know, going to the cottages and getting involved in all kinds of chat. Help me out here. Well, I can't think of the name of it for the life of me. There's like a bunch, and I have it downstairs, and I played it several times, and I love that game. You bunch of teenagers go to a cottage. Like one of the guy's sisters was like went missing or killed the last time they were there, and then he plays a prank on them that suddenly goes awry because there actually is some horror stuff going on there. I'm really bad at describing, but it's such a good game. You keep switching between all the different characters, and they could die. It changes the story based on what they do.
Phasmophobia has been chucked out in chat. That is one I know of, and I think that should go on the list.
Yep, for sure. Was there one good alien game?
Yeah,
that's Alien Isolation. That's Alien Isolation KR. We got that one. That one. Oh, that's so good.
That's honestly, that's probably going to go very deep.
If that doesn't win, like that's going to go deep at the very least.
Yeah. Another one that I like that is actually a little bit more recent is Outlast.
Outlast, yep.
Yeah, so you just that's just like you're just chucked in. It's very Resident Evil like, where you just kind of you have nothing and you got to figure it out. So quite a fan. You could go Outlast 2, but I haven't played it.
Alan Wake.
Sorry, mate.
Alan Wake.
Yes, Alan Wake. Yep. 1 or 2. I haven't played 2. It actually came out, 2. I think a couple of years ago. 1. I know number 1's really good. Five
Nights at Freddy's has been thrown out.
Chuck it in.
Yeah.
Yep. I think that's fine. Especially seeing as the they captured the hearts and minds of a generation. Not ours, but a generation.
Metro 2033, I think, is Sandbox. Isn't it?
Yes. Sandbox? I would think so.
I swear it was Sandbox. Well, I could be wrong. I have to now I gotta look it up. Okay, this is
we gotta look it up.
I have to look that one up because it needs to go in there.
So there's one I have not heard of. I have not played myself. I played the original that came out in I think the early or mid 90s, Alone in the Dark, and I hear it's been remade in the last couple of years and is extremely good.
Alone in the Dark? Yeah, I could get that. Okay.
Where are we up to, by the way? It feels like
we're at like 15.
You could chuck another Resident Evil on there then. It's Resident Evil is the survival horror genre's kind of defining franchise.
We actually are at 16 with Resident Evil 4 currently on there. I have to find the name of this game because it needs to be on here. Until Dawn. Until Dawn.
Did we already put that on?
Until Dawn?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not on.
Chuck it on then. Yeah, chuck it on instead of the Resident Evil 4. That's
there we go. That has to be on there.
We will, throw it out to the chat. Do you guys think it's Resident Evil 2 or Resident Evil 4 that should make this?
Yeah, I'm curious what that chat has.
Throw out freaking. I haven't played 6 and 7 and stuff like that, or whatever number they're up to.
Yeah, they're good. It's just I don't know because I have the nostalgia of the.
Me too. That's I remember I played a little bit of Resident Evil 1, but I freaking double clocked a Resident Evil 2 twice over within
the cutting edge game versus zombies in the early 90s. You're probably thinking of Left 4 Dead, which we have on there because Left 4 Dead is very, very good one.
Yes.
That's what I'm assuming you're thinking of. Amazing graphics for the time. Maybe not then.
Yeah, maybe not.
Maybe not.
All right, give us a rundown. What's on our list?
All right, right now we have Resident Evil 2, Until Dawn, Alien Isolation, Left 4 Dead, Silent Hill 2, Amnesia, Dark Descent, The Last of Us, Dead Space, Dead by Daylight, Dino Crisis, The Evil Within, Phasmophobia, Outlast, Alan Wake, Five Nights at Freddy's, and Alone in the Dark.
That's a good list.
That's a good list.
It's a very strong
list.
We
crushed survival horror.
Mate, it's almost like we're nerds or something. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what to tell you.
Who said we weren't the right people to do this?
Yeah, it's right. Take that.
That's 16. So
We're
good
done.
to go. We're done.
There is scope, of course. People in our Patreon group, you can jump into Discord throughout any we may have missed, or any you think that are on our list that are unworthy of it. You absolutely have that right. And of course, we do have a Patreon. We regularly, at the moment, it's about fortnightly. We're able to sit down and we record a part 2 of this great show where we look back at the events that have been and gone, the ones we covered on this show, and we tell you what won, what made the top 10, any surprises therein, and then who got the points out of the hosts for their picks. And of course, we tally the points. There is an ever running competition between the three of us, myself, Dustin, and Dead Sanguinius, for who's going to win the month, and then we tally the months. So right now, Paul's got the most month wins, and Dustin and I are chasing him. So we're very happy he's decided to take a knee in the great month of July, because he essentially hasn't been here for much. I'll let you guys know. I'm going to be away in Europe on a holiday for the next 4 weeks. I will still be writing the show. I'll still be doing all the stats for the show. And I'm also going to be taking over doing the part 2s. I'll be just doing those solo for the next 4 weeks. So I'll just be recording them when I have the chance, when I'm over on my holiday, smashing them out and getting them uploaded for you. But that's only available to tier 2 on our Patreon. So jump over to that, look up more Warhammer Meta Chasers, and sign up and support us if you are able. If you're not able to support us financially, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff goes a very long way to carrying the message and making sure more people get in touch with the better. Dusty, that's our show.
That is our show, and I appreciate everybody being here. Appreciate the support. Everybody live in the chat, thanks for joining us here. John, KR, Nurgle, Matt, we love you guys. And we will probably be back next week with myself and Paul Murphy. So
you will.
Adam, have a safe trip. Everybody wish
I will,
luck,
baby.
And, you'll still get to hear his sultry voice on the part 2, and of course at WTC if you're going to be watching that, which you should be. If you're here and you're not watching WTC, that's crazy.
What are you doing?
That's
you can listen to me on Joe's.
You can listen to Adam on
live.
WTC. Like that's
hell yeah.
That's just crazy.
Well, on that note, we are out of here. Thank you so much to all the amazing people who've joined us in chat. Of course, we do this show live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Thursday. So come in and jump on and get involved. Thank you to everybody who supported us thus far. Hope to see you next week, and take care. Look after each other.
See you next week.